I'm excited to have Cheyenne and Kaleb Austin back on the show. We'll talk about all their successes they've had since they were last here, including Kaleb's win for TikTok Country Artist of the Year. Welcome back, Kaleb and Cheyenne. Thanks for being here.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for having us.
I know you got little ones on the other side of the door, so if you have to tend to them, just take turns, I guess. So,
yes, thank you. Thank you.
Yes. You just got back from Nashville late last night.
Yep. We did.
Yep. And yeah, so we got back from Nashville late last night, and then we also streamed last night. We went live on TikTok. And then
one of the fun things we did in Nashville is I recorded 2 new songs, but we were able to meet with a label in town. And nothing's set in stone yet or anything, but he gave us a contact for a promotional company that can help my song get on the radio. So that's what we were doing last night in our live stream, is trying to raise enough money to get my song promoted to get on the radio. So
it's amazing. One of the reasons I want to have you here is, so we said you just returned from Nashville. You live in Utah, and you have launched your career, Kaleb. You do this full time now. You're able to give up whatever job was keeping you from this. That's what Cheyenne shares a lot in her reels and things in your story. But you are launching a career in country music from Utah. And people think you have to live in Nashville. And I imagine eventually you'll at least live there part-time, but it is from your fans, and your fans have come from social media, from TikTok and Instagram. And I mean, it's amazing. It's really amazing.
It's changed the industry, really, and how you can do things, especially as an independent artist. Because in the past, you did have to have Nashville and a label and things to push your music. But now there's a lot of other options, you know.
I think it's still definitely harder to do it this way, but yeah, it's definitely possible.
And Nashville is still necessary. You know, I go there to record. There's great talent there and great songwriters there. The people that I will, work with a lot are there. But as far as launching a career and getting things going and making music, you don't have to live there anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, and also I think that you two are changing how it's done. Your example is changing how it's done. Cheyenne, you have no marketing experience in your background. And tell me the very first time that you decided, like, what was your thought process? I know that you were trying to make sure that he could live his dream and not work a full-time job, so this could become his full-time job, being a country artist.
Yeah.
And you just started filming. A lot of it is when he's not even looking. You're just filming what he's doing behind you. He gets back at you for that too sometimes.
Oh, yes, he does.
We'll get to that later.
I was able to a couple times.
So yeah, I mean, we always have music on in our house. Our kids love it. And so it's very easy. I originally started doing like the lip syncing videos, and I'm like, oh, I'm too old for this. This isn't going anywhere. And it was more kind of just for fun. And then I kind of ran up. I saw people were singing on the app. So I was like, oh, I have someone who can sing. So I just ran up and asked him to sing some Jason Aldean, and instantly like 3,000 likes. And so I was like, well, this is the way to go. And then literally the next day I asked him to sing, I think it was God's Country by Blake Shelton. He was holding our baby, and like, I think 70 to 80,000 likes or something like that. And I was like, holy crap, like this could work. Yeah. And so, yeah, we kind of just kept rolling with it. I had to get a little bit more creative. The app is always changing. So started throwing beers, started throwing guitars, and, people are like, oh my gosh. I'm like, it's the backup guitar. Don't hate me too much.
I wondered that too.
Yeah.
I wondered that too. And so your kids, I mean, every time even last night, a clip I'm going to show of you guys getting in from Nashville last night, the music was on when you're hugging the kids and greeting them. And I mean, music's always on, and they don't understand it. The older ones, you have older kids, how old?
13 and 11.
So they understand what's happening pretty much. They get it.
Yeah, they totally get it. But they love the music too. Like I think our daughter, the 11-year-old daughter, I think she's definitely going to have.
Possibly be a singer.
Yeah, she has it.
She loves singing. She wrote me a song the other day.
Yeah, and he's going to put some
I'm going to put some chords to it. And she's like, Dad, this should be one of your songs. So I'm like, how about we keep it for you? I'll help you finish it.
We'll work on it a little bit more. But no, it's awesome. Our kids, like especially our 2 little babies, they just go up and hit the space bar on the computer, and they're like, song, dance party, and they always want us to pick them up. They always want to dance around. So yeah, we usually have music on all the time.
Well, and the other thing you're doing, Caleb, is you own all your music, right? You're only recording your own songs.
Yep.
So you own the publishing too.
I do. Yeah.
That's important as well.
And that's, from a financial standpoint, it really makes a big difference, but also it allows me to speak to who I am as an artist a lot better, because I don't have anybody else telling me what to say in my songs or how to write them.
You can relate with the song a lot more.
And it's just what's going on with my life the last 5 or 6 years, and just trying to, help people connect with what I'm doing right now. And so that's really nice. I mean, it's hard to write a song. Every song is a challenge, and it's very difficult for me. But, when I do get finished with one and I like it, it's rewarding. And I think that's going to translate on stage,
Well, this is no comparison to you, but I've written one song, but I wrote it with someone in Nashville who's incredibly talented and performs with all the greats. And we wrote one beautiful song that, excuse me, that didn't seem that hard to do. And then when we wrote the second one, it was a lot harder. So to write one good song, maybe that's a fluke or it's whatever, but to go on further and further, because I don't maybe have what it takes to do that. He does, but you know what I mean? It just was the second time it was like, well, this seems more like work. And the other one was something I had in my head for almost 30 years.
Right.
Just flowing.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I didn't know that you write songs.
Yeah, I'll have to send it to you guys. I'll tell you about that when we're done here. But so owning your own publishing, that's what people need to understand, is that's a smart way to go business wise, long down the road.
Yeah, totally. And I'm not like necessarily opposed to co-writing either.
Sure.
But I honestly just started writing my own stuff basically because I had no one else to write with, and I'm like, if I'm going to do this thing, I'm going to have to do it by myself. And so I just would sit in my basement and I wouldn't quit until I had something that I liked, and sometimes it would take 2-3 hours. Sometimes it would take weeks for me to sit down there and get nowhere and be so frustrated. And then finally it works out and you're like, oh.
Yeah. Well, it's crazy the way our basement is unfinished. We have insulation in the ceiling. Like in my opinion, it's not the best place to write. I would be writing in our bedroom, or he does need a place that's kind of quiet. So with the kids, it's kind of hard, but he goes down there and he's down there for hours. And I'm just like, why not maybe come out into the sunlight, get a little inspiration, but I mean, it's what works for him.
Whatever process works. The other thing too, is what I've learned as a writer, having written books, is I never throw anything out. Because when I revisit it, I think, that was, as I'm writing it, I'm thinking, that's not working. But then you go back and read it later and there's pieces that always work, right? So sometimes you just have to take a hiatus from something you're writing and get on with something that's coming more easily to you.
Exactly. And that's kind of the way my song process works anyways. I'll start something and then it will morph into something else that will morph into something else. And then I'll be like, I can use what I wrote 2 songs ago, like half songs ago. And now it finally all meshes together. So it's almost like 3 to 5 halfway finished songs, and then you just melt it all together into one. So.
I want to talk about your following. You have how many followers on TikTok?
1.1 on mine.
1.1 on Shy's page, and I have coming on 200,000 on my page. We really focus. Well, I mean, most of the stuff I do on my page is just, singing with my guitar, self-promotion type stuff. So she does
the family dynamic really kind of works more for
different stuff on her page.
Well, it's storytelling. People love a story, right? I mean, you're telling a story every day that you do that. And then you're on Instagram as well. You have a lot of followers on Instagram, and I don't use TikTok. So I'm guessing you share the same content between the 2 platforms.
Yeah.
Similar.
Yeah. We kind of just, post the same videos. Sometimes we'll do different videos, but for the most part, same videos.
So when you thought this year, because you have such a following and they've been so supportive of everything you've done. So your first, what's the one song, Turn the Night On, it debuted at number 2 on iTunes. Is that right? And that's all those fans pushing it up there.
Every song that comes out.
And you're on there saying, hey guys, it's coming out in 5 days, 4 days. And you start a good month or more beforehand, right?
Usually it's about 4 to 6 weeks before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our
And-
thought process now is, I think we're going to do a little bit shorter of a pre-order. I think we just kind of want to get more music out. We're going to start gearing towards putting on Kaleb Austin shows instead of, he needs more original music. So we're going to do, that. And so he can not be a cover
Try and
band.
release music faster.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
And raise 4 kids and
Yeah. And the whole shebang. Yeah.
yeah, all of the stuff. And then, so tell us about, I know that you did a fundraiser where you're trying to make sure that you could raise enough money to buy gifts for the Salvation Army tree that people see throughout the holidays. Tell us about that.
So this is something that's like very near and dear to my heart. Even when we had nothing like 3-4 years ago, our kids, we would tell them like, okay, we're not going to get you guys as many gifts. We have to, help out kids who are in need. And so it's been a tradition for 4 years.
Yeah.
We go to dinner and then we let our kids, I mean, in the beginning, we could only help like 2 or 3 kids. But
it was a tradition.
Yeah, it's a tradition.
We more than anything just wanted to show our kids that it was important to do that.
Yeah, I did that with my son as well. Like, for him to go and see that.
Yeah. It helps them see, you want an Xbox for Christmas. Well, you think this kid wants a coat? Yeah. Like, no, so it's a very humbling experience. And so, yeah, we asked our TikTok live people that Kaleb would sing any song for $10, and every single dollar is going towards.
Normally it'll be I sing so that we can raise money to go to Nashville and keep getting songs recorded.
Yeah.
So both of us decided we were going to dedicate one entire live to just
sing how many kids we could get off of an angel tree. And we ended up raising enough money for 40 kids.
Nice.
And I was crying and I was, it was such a mess.
Yeah.
And we had to take 2 full days shopping. We took our kids. We had the whole little army. Like, I was with our daughter Kinley, the 11-year-old, and our daughter River. And he had our 13-year-old boy Bryant and Jameson, our little boy. And we just had carts. And I'm sure Walmart was thinking that we were stealing, because to keep it straight, I needed to make sure that the kids were getting the right stuff. He came up with the garbage bag idea, and before we were even paid for them, we were like stuffing them into garbage bags. We just had, every kid had a cart, and our younger 2 had the babies in their cart, and Kinley and I would get all the toys and all the clothes and shove them into bags, and him and the boys would go pay for it and throw it all in the trailer. We had bikes. We were racing around. And 2 full days of shopping. So it was so tiring. At the end, we were just like, oh, that was exhausting, but so worth it.
I wonder what your older kids thought, because they've been around for when you could only buy a couple of things. And now here you are doing all of this. Did they have a concept of understanding that?
Yes, they do. And our boy, he's always super excited. He always talks to, about it every single year. Like, oh, are we going to do this again? And then our little girl literally almost made me cry this year, because we were shopping, I think, for a 3-year-old boy, and we got his clothes, and they were cute clothes. And this toy, she was like, oh, I think you like this. And she goes, oh my gosh, this little boy is going to be so happy this year. And I'm like, oh, I'm so emotional when it comes to that stuff. I love helping out wherever we can. So
yeah, that's amazing. And then another thing that you accomplished with your TikTok followers is you became Country Artist of the Year on from TikTok.
2021. Yeah.
It was the first major award I've ever been nominated for. So really cool.
And there's some talent out there. There's people like you who are carving it out for themselves.
We were definitely kind of more on the underdog side. The people we were going up against just had so many followers, but I hands down will say that I think that we have the most loyal, campfire family out there, and they're like, no, we're taking this. And they ran with it. They totally ran with it. So.
And I'd imagine that, Kaleb, no matter how many awards you win in the future, I mean, this award has got to remain special to you, because the 2 of you did it together with your original fan base. No matter how much success you have going forward, this is one of the first accomplishments for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it'll be a milestone in my life and career forever. I'll remember, because I'm a huge fan of Travis Tritt, and he was the one that sent me a video.
Tell him about I'm Gonna Be Somebody.
So I sing I'm Gonna Be Somebody, because that's just kind of, I've always connected with that song. In my live streams, I'm like,
they request that song every single time, because it's like, yes, you are. I don't know, it's just kind of like the anthem,
Yes.
for Caleb.
And, and has been for a long time, so for them, and they didn't know that. Country Now didn't know that. So they found Travis Tritt to give me the award. And that's like in the video, I was such a little crybaby because that was just something
We're emotional people.
I didn't expect that. I was just like, oh my God, it was kind of full circle for me and just kind of overwhelming and just cool,
Well, and it was also really cool because kind of two people announced it. Lily Rose, who is also another huge up and coming artist. Yeah. And so she kind of announced it, and then Travis Tritt came on. So yeah, it was very overwhelming, just the support. And Lily Rose was like, I hope to get to meet you someday soon. And I was just like, oh my gosh, very, very exciting
And
stuff.
what was the connection between Country Now and that? Explain to how they were part of you getting to that.
We have I guess he kind of become a friend now.
Yeah.
He's got an online magazine called Music Mayhem, and so through him he also works with Country Now on some stuff. And he heard this award show was going on, and he threw my name in the hat, and that's how I got nominated for the award is through them. So
yeah.
To be able to have it happen like that, I was lucky to be nominated. I don't even think that they were planning. I don't even think they knew who I was until he threw my ring in the hat. Maybe they did. I don't know, but it just seemed like a very we were the underdog. For sure.
Yeah. It was serendipitous though too. It's like it's the timing thing. It's you knowing what to do with that, Cheyenne, because his name could have been thrown in there and just sat, just been thrown in. But knowing, like, I was watching you, I follow you guys. I see you every day. I watch your stories.
Thank you.
And so I actually didn't even know what a story was or reel until I saw you. I was brand new.
Okay.
I was brand new.
Yeah.
And
it kind of is easier that way, and I think a lot of people are getting behind it because I know like music is what he's meant to do. And that's how we met, through music. And so when he had to give up his job, I was just like, and so I started posting these videos and it started to work. And I was like, holy crap, like we really have a chance, you can start doing music again. And then Sound of the South came out, and it all happened so quickly. Like last year was kind of a blur because so many things were accomplished thanks to our Campfire family. And I just feel very happy, but overwhelmed with joy all the time. Like
your Campfire family is your following. That's what you call
it. Yes. We call it like the KA, you spell it with KA instead of CA, Campfire Caleb Austin. Yes. That's what they've made themselves. And
it's all based around the live stream because it feels just like everybody's sitting around a campfire sharing good music and everybody's just spitting out their favorite songs.
Well, and we've come to realize like it is a place for people to get away. We don't talk about politics. We don't talk about religion. We don't talk about pronouns or anything like that because my opinion shouldn't matter to you. Your opinion doesn't matter to me. And people really, really respect that, and it's just a place where they can come. And we've had several people message us and be like, you guys don't know, I come here 3 nights a week. Like this is my schedule because I feel like I am happy. And we've actually made some best friends. Some of them we haven't even met yet, And so it is very humbling. I'm just a cool
thing to see grow.
I'm slightly shaking because I love talking about them. I love
it's good. It's good. And it shows through in everything that you do. Well, I want to take a break. And when we come back, I want to talk about the song that Caleb surprised you with.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Oh, you guys, I was getting so nervous there.
You released a song recently called Cheyenne, named for your wife, written for your wife, but I didn't see a video anywhere. So I was wondering, was that a private showing when you played it for the first time? Well, it was a surprise, right, Cheyenne?
Yeah, I had no
Yeah,
idea he was writing
I
it.
should have recorded.
He's
something.
terrible
If
at
she were
recording.
behind it, she'd have been like, babe, we got to record this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was in a bad mood, honestly, when he showed me. I didn't know he was even writing this song. I was very overwhelmed with the kids. They were being
It
terrible.
had been a tough day or two for her.
Yeah,
you
it
know,
was just I think our daughter wasn't sleeping, so I wasn't sleeping, and
kids were sick. It
up
was
all
just, yeah.
day, and so it was just, you know, it's the grind. But yeah, I was in kind of a mood, and he was like, babe, let me play this song for you. And I was like, all right,
Hurry up.
I got stuff to do, you know. And so he starts playing this song, and I'm like, oh, it's pretty good, you know. And then he sings my name, and I was just like, I am not a crier, and I hate to cry. I hate showing people that I'm crying. And so I kind of put my head down, and he thought I hated it. And so he got done playing, and he was like, you don't like it? And I look up and I'm bawling.
There was
I'm
like
just,
no emotion for a second. I'm like, great, I got to start over.
yeah, no, I was so happy. It's like just what I needed, you know,
Right.
at that time. And yeah, now whenever we're streaming and they make him play that song, our Campfire family makes me like look at him. They always
They'll
put like the
comment
eyeballs, and I'm like, stop, you guys are embarrassing me, like, you know. But yeah,
It's a
no, I
really
was
good
very-
song. It's a really good song. And I listened to it this morning while I was getting ready. And so tell me about that, Caleb. I mean, you had to write a song for your girl
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing is,
Oh, there's our kids. I'll be right back.
Okay. That's okay.
so I was searching for what I wanted to write a song about, and I was struggling to find something, and I'm like, you know what, this whole thing has been because of my wife. You know, it's because she's been posting and doing a great job at you know, she didn't have to do any of this, you know, but she loves the music and everything. So I was like, I had
Well,
nothing
and she
better
loves
to write.
you.
Yes, she does very much. So
Yeah.
there was nothing that I would have rather written about. And so once I decided to do that, it just kind of, it was one of those moments where I stopped struggling and that song just kind of came out, you know.
Wow.
And
Well,
it was good.
I love the song. I love your story. I love everything that you're doing. And I love that you're coming here, because someday you're going to be so big that it might be hard for you to get to come back to my show. So I'm just going to stay.
Oh no, we always will.
Yeah, I'll stay in touch with with Cheyenne, and I just can't wait to watch the ride happen for you guys, for it to keep
Well,
happening.
thank you. Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Tell Cheyenne thanks for being here, and
I
thanks
will.
your kids for being quiet. It was like a whole 30 minutes.
I know they lasted almost the whole time. So here she is right here.
Okay. I'm just
Sorry.
saying goodbye. We're all done. Thank you so much.
Oh,
for-
thank you so much for
thank you for
having
having
us.
us.
and we're going to stay in touch so that when you're, you know, winning CMAs, you can still come back to my little show.
Absolutely.
Oh, thank
Without
you
a
so
doubt.
much. Absolutely.
All right. Take care.
All right,
You too.
Them old fence posts need barbed wire. My Colorado hind needs a bone.